Good morning. Today is the 38th day of the Omer, which is 5 weeks and 3 days of the Omer. I'm also going to be recording for tomorrow, which is the 39th day of the Omer, 39th day of the Omer, which is 5 weeks and 4 days. And we are exploring Yesod. Today is Tiferes Yesod, which is the idea of compassion in Yesod. I'm in the car, but I'm not driving, just letting you know. For those of you that are like, hey, you really shouldn't be recording this while you're driving. I'm just in the car and I had a moment and I figured, why not record this? So today's Tiferes Yesod. It is the final stop in the heart center of Yesod, and tomorrow will be Netzach Yesod, which is our first stop in the gut center of Yesod. And Yesod is the final sphera of the gut center. We have Netzach and Yesod. Yesod, as we said, is foundation, but it is also this idea of connection, human connection, bonding, connecting with those that are outside of us, connecting in an intimate way with our loved ones, a spouse, a partner, but also connecting with just in an interpersonal way with our children. And the idea of Tiferes, the idea of compassion, is that when we have our connections, when we are connecting with others, it's important to maintain a balance. And this idea, I touched on it yesterday, the idea of gevura, of setting boundaries. It really is part and parcel of Tiferes, which is this idea of mediating our energy, whether to give or to withhold, to give when we may feel like the person might not necessarily, in our eyes, be deserving of being given to. However, ultimately we have to realize that we have to focus on the other person. But then also sometimes withholding for the better of another person. So the idea of compassion, that we have to step outside of ourselves and have compassion for another person when it comes to Yesod. And tomorrow, the idea of Netzach, of Yesod, the endurance of Yesod, is that real relationships, they can't be fair weather friendships. They have to have real, lasting bond. And the friendships that we have and the interpersonal connections and relationships that we have to have an enduring aspect to them. They have to be able to endure through obstacles. And it's ultimately through enduring those obstacles that you'll find that friendships and relationships become strengthened. So I'm going to do the toning for today, which is Tiferes Yesod. Tiferes is the cholam, is O, and Yesod is the milupim, I believe, which is an U. So you can tone this particular toning for however long you want. And you'll find that that goes really nicely. The O and the U. O, actually O ends with an U. So it's pretty simple. It's actually kind of like an elongated O. O with an articulated U at the end. And now for Netzach Yesod. Netzach is the chirik, which is the E. And just thinking about it, E and U are complete opposite mouth formations. This idea that when we're overcoming obstacles, sometimes it might seem like we have to bridge this unbridgeable gap, but ultimately we can. And that's what's necessary in order to have the enduring aspect of our relationships, going from the E to U. Have an amazing, blessed day. Bye-bye and Shabbat Shalom.